Gather round and listen to a tale of a place shrouded in shadows and whispers, a place where the laughter of children mingled with the echoes of their fears. This is the story of the Funhouse, an abandoned slaughterhouse transformed into a playground of terror. Once in a sleepy town there lived a group of kids, restless and bored, endlessly nagging their parents until they were shooed outside. "Go play," their parents would say, unaware of the chilling adventures that awaited them. Outside, under the oppressive heat and humidity, there was little to do and nowhere to go. The world seemed to be fenced in, every corner of someone's territory, where they were chased away like stray animals. But then, whispered among them, a plan took shape, a plan to visit a place both feared and revered, the Funhouse. "Let's go to the Funhouse," they'd say, voices tinged with excitement and apprehension. "Yeah, the Funhouse. No one hears us there." Despite the dangers that lurked within its walls, the Funhouse called to them, an irresistible siren song. The journey to the Funhouse was a trek into the unknown, a path that wound along the Raquette River, a road flanked by rumbling trucks and a treacherous blacktop. Along the way, they found small joys: a rope swing over the river, islands in the shallow waters, the satisfying crunch of beer bottles underfoot. And then, looming ahead, was the Funhouse, a place where Andy and his brother lived, a place where the game of Run was born. The Funhouse itself was a monolith of metal and shadows, its interior a labyrinthine maze with a raised walkway overhead. Here, chains and hooks hung like specters, and at the heart of it all was Andy. Older, taller, a gangly boy of 13 with cropped red hair and thick glasses. It was he who ruled over the Funhouse, the master of the game. "Run, little pigs," Andy would taunt from his perch above. The rules were simple: navigate the maze, avoid Andy's wrath. But the fear, the thrill, it was intoxicating. To be hit by Andy's knuckle was to feel the sting of defeat. To evade him was to taste the sweet victory of survival. But the Funhouse held secrets darker than any child could imagine. Even when Andy was not there to play his cruel game, the Funhouse whispered with eerie sounds and chilling breezes. In the peak of summer, the inside was unnaturally cool, the ground floor cold enough to see your breath. The children would huddle around campfires they lit with gathered sticks, the flames flickering in the gloom. The Funhouse hummed with the wind, and in storms the thunder seemed trapped within its walls. Strange noises permeated the air: distant animal calls, the faint hum of machinery, and a peculiar metallic ka-chunk sound that seemed to come from nowhere and everywhere. Whenever that sound echoed through the Funhouse, Andy would freeze, his head cocking in confusion before he vanished into the shadows. The children were told that the ka-chunk was the sound of cowbells from a nearby field. Rumor had it that at the field's edge a strange herd of cows grazed, led by a short, stumpy-legged cow with wide horns. Yet whenever the sound grew louder, fear would grip the children's hearts and they would flee, never daring to venture close enough to see the rumored cows. As summer days faded into one another, the children's visits to the Funhouse became their forbidden ritual. But the danger was real. Andy's game could turn vicious, leaving them with injuries that could not be hidden. Parents would scold, "We told you never to go there." But the lure of the Funhouse was too strong, its mysteries too enticing. One day, as the weather turned colder and the skies grew darker, the children, forced outside by their parents, sought refuge in the Funhouse. They huddled around a fire, cooking hot dogs, a brief moment of warmth and camaraderie. But their peace was shattered when Andy appeared, his eyes gleaming with malice. "Time to play, little pigs," he sneered, kicking their fire and plunging them into darkness. The game of Run began anew, but this time it was a desperate race for escape. The children crawled and scrambled through the maze, Andy's taunts echoing around them. The stakes were higher, the danger more palpable. And then, in a moment of terror, Andy's knuckle struck true, sending one of the children to the ground, his world spinning. In the pitch-black heart of the Funhouse, as the injured child lay disoriented, Andy loomed closer, a sinister figure in the dim light. In his hand he held a knife, glinting with a malevolent intent. "I'm only going to cut you a little bit," he whispered, a chilling promise. But then, amidst the fear and despair, a miracle occurred. The eerie ka-chunk sound resonated louder than ever, accompanied by frantic shouts of, "The cows are coming!" Terrified of the cows, Andy's resolve crumbled, and he fled into the darkness, abandoning his cruel intentions. The children, seizing their chance, dragged their injured friend from the maze, escaping into the rain-soaked night. They stumbled and supported each other, the rain washing away the blood but not the memories of their harrowing ordeal. Weeks later, the truth of that night unraveled. Andy, in his fear of the cows, had indeed intended harm but was thwarted by their unexpected arrival. The children's bravery in facing their tormentor and the strange, inexplicable power of the cows had saved them from a fate too grim to imagine. Andy was captured and confined to the Berg, a state hospital, where he remained until his 18th birthday. Rumors swirled of his later misdeeds, but the truth remained as elusive as the shadows in the funhouse. And so, the tale of the funhouse, a place of childish games turned sinister, comes to a close. A reminder of the unseen dangers that lurk in the places we least expect, where the line between play and peril is perilously thin. Let this story be a cautionary tale, for sometimes the most terrifying monsters are not those of legend but those that walk among us hidden in plain sight.